Yes, sir.
All right, this is Isaac,
Marsell.
them lads. Today we're gonna put you guys through a chest workout. We're gonna go over some DC principles that we follow while we train. Just kind of explain what we're doing. Also, some stretching stuff that we do to warm up beforehand, and that way you guys kind of have a good idea of what we do. No?
Yep.
All right, let's get after it.
All right, so I picked this up from the man Dante Trudell himself. Just a simple, basic shoulder warm up that I've actually been using now for a few months, almost a year now, and it definitely has helped my shoulders a ton. Just get them warmed up. Not that I need to get warmed up too much in this heat, but hey, at this age, man, I will take anything that helps. Ain't that right?
Yeah. You know, my 28-year-old
Yeah,
body
you're gonna know.
is pretty,
You're gonna know all too. Oh well.
pretty run down here, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I like to go directly behind my chest and kind of stop right where my chest is. Just open up, kind of hold it there, and then bring it back forward. All the way through, loop. Stop directly behind your chest, just kind of hold it. Let everything open up nicely. Your chest, shoulders, rotator cuffs will get warm. And then usually right after this, we go straight to like a external rotation, which Isaac is working on right now. Make sure the joint is nice and loose, warm, lubed up. Get ready for some heavy pressing.
Yeah, usually we'll take like this little, about a 5-pound dumbbell, nothing too crazy. And usually anything like above 5 pounds, the shoulder will pick it up. Anything below, supposedly, the rotator cuff picks it up. So I like to do this because I played baseball my whole life and my rotator cuffs are both messed up, you know, especially on my throwing arm. But I've torn this one before, so I gotta take my time and make sure this is warmed up, otherwise I'll probably injure myself again.
And you're all done.
Doesn't seem like much, but dude, if I don't do this stuff, forget about it. Fucking workout sucks. I'm sitting there fighting pain for like the first 20, 30 minutes. Crazy. It's a bitch getting old, man. So I like to use decline basically because it tends to activate more of the pecs, like the whole pec. You know, sometimes people claim that, you know, like an incline is only going to do your upper, but the reason it feels lighter to most people when you do any decline movements is because you activate a lot more of your chest with it. So with this one in particular, it gets you into a nice stretch position, get everything opened up. You know, kind of we do a few sets of like lighter weight. We just start off with a plate on each side. Probably go through like 2 or 3 sets depending on how sore we are or how beat up we are. But yeah, decline actually turned into one of my more like favorite chest movements. So we tend to use it a lot more now at the beginning. And then we'll actually do like a rest pause set on this soon. So we'll explain that, how it goes, once we kind of get into it. It's gonna take a few sets to get into it though.
Oh yeah.
I tell people, take your fucking like warm-up sets like serious. You treat your warm-up sets like, you know, your heavy sets, that just activates everything better, you know, and that's what you want. You want to get everything activated early, right away, you know. So if you're just sitting there kind of going through the motions and just kind of moving weight, like it's gonna take you longer. You're not gonna get much out of it. So treat it just as if it was anything heavy. Squeeze, make sure you're feeling it, you know, mind-muscle connection, start getting all that shit going right away. So I might make this look heavy because I'm treating it like it's heavy, but it's not.
Let's go. Good squeeze. Probably have trouble like sitting down on the table and getting back up. So, you're good there. Is this okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Is it all right?
These sets leading up to like our rest pause set, after the first couple sets, just the warm-up sets, those are gonna be high reps for us because we're just filling things out, letting everything get activated. But once we start moving up in weight, the reps become less and less, you know, until we get up to like our max weight for our rest pause set. It's only gonna be like 4 or 5 reps, kind of filling it out, making sure we don't expend too much energy, and we save all that energy for that final set for the rest pause set.
Yeah. And if you're not logging your weights, that is the time to kind of figure out what weight are we going to use for our top set or a rest pause set. So, you know, that's why it's important to log your weights when you are training this way. It's just a little bit easier. You know what you did last time, you know how many reps you did, what weight you did. So this time around, you're either going to add some reps or add some weight. So that's how you just ensure that there's a constant progression in what you're doing. So yeah, that's one part that we forgot to kind of mention before. Get a logbook if you're going to train this way. It will make things go a lot smoother. You won't be guessing, and you will just be constantly making progress. Pump going, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Don't tell Trump. Yeah. Here we go, come on. So fill it out. Big squeeze, big squeeze.
Now this, Dusty would not approve. These plates.
Yeah, no, this right here would already give him a freak out.
True, but
this,
right. You can almost get
that right there.
He would not work out at this point. He would just turn around and walk out the door. Like I'm out, guys.
I mean, we have more plates. They're just over there, and I don't feel like walking over there to go get it.
Yeah.
Dusty would walk that though. He would.
He would.
He really would.
I've seen this man walk across the gym, like on the opposite side to go find the matching plates. I saw him do it. I was sitting there like, it's not that serious. Like it ain't that, but it is.
Let's go. Come on.
2, 3, 4.
Let's go.
6.
Sit here, or are you going up?
I'll probably go up one more for rest pause. Yeah. Wait, this rest pause, what are we doing?
If I like it, I'm gonna go with it.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Got it. There you go. Come on. Good. Let's go. Yep. Hit it. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Let's go. Drive it. Drive it. Another one. Another one. Let's go. Go. One more. One more. I got you. Here we go. Take it. Good. 20 seconds. All right, real quick on the rest pause. First set till failure, I usually help them on 1 failure rep. That's it. We drop it. 20-second break. Second set, repeat the same thing as the first one. Third set is where we get a little extra out of it. So we get that third set in, and I'll actually help them push a few past failure, maybe like 3 or 4, depending on how he feels. So that's how we normally finish our rest pause sets. So 1 set to failures, 20 seconds. Second set to a failure, 20 seconds. Third set, beyond failure.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on.
All right, take it. Let's go. Drive. Drive. Good. Come on. Get it. Get it. All right. Finish it. Yep. There we go. Good. Good. Rest. So one of the main things also in between the sets where you're taking your 20-second break, big, deep belly breaths. Make sure you're getting oxygen back in. Making sure you're trying to recover as best as you can for that next set. If you're not breathing, getting that air in, you're screwing yourself, and you're probably gonna cut yourself a couple reps short. So make sure you're breathing. Come on, ready? Come on.
3, 2.
Let's go. Good. Good. Come on. Another one. Here we go. Here we go.
That's where. Come on.
Let's go. Good. Yep. Good. One more. Get it. Good. Good work. Good work.
Oh, my fucking chest is shot.
Ready?
Yeah, sir, zombie, let's go.
One, 2, 3, go.
Let's go. Good. Here we go. Let's go. Big squeeze, big squeeze, big squeeze. Good. Yep. Good. Come on, let's work. That's still you. Still moving it. Still moving it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Good.
Don't let me wait so long.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
2 more. Come on. Good. Up, 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 up. Good. You want to back off or?
No, do a hold. Yeah. Next, we're gonna do static hold. After we get done with the rest pause set, we go into the static hold. What you do is we go about 30 to 40% off of the weight. We come down into our position, and then we load back up about halfway. You know, nothing too crazy. You just want to get the chest loaded up and everything under tension. And then we hold there for about 30 to 60 seconds. Really just depends on when you get out. So obviously the longer you can hold without getting injured, the better. You know what, man? It's crazy because like we do less now as far as like
Volume.
Volume, yeah.
I wouldn't say as far as volume. Volume is very high if you
Less
think about it.
exercises, yeah.
But we do less exercises. So really like for us, I mean we probably do like 3 movements.
That's it.
And like for most people that's like half their workout. But because we're doing rest pause sets, static holds, extreme stretching, doing 1 heavy top set and a back off set on another exercise, like that stuff right there, we're taking about, you figure 3 to 4 of those sets are to complete failure. And that's all you need to like stimulate muscle growth. Anything more and you go past that, you're gonna be overtraining, you know? And then you're not recovering. So it kind of defeats the purpose. You just did all this shit and then you don't recover well enough. And now you get into like your 5th, 6th day, you gotta hit chest again and your shit's still not recovering. So this is what works best for us. Me in particular, as I'm getting older, like I find this is the better way for me, you know, as opposed to doing 6, 7 workouts or exercises in one whole session. So.
Yeah, and on top of that, with the recovery, like he was mentioning, we find a lot of people don't take their rest days. They just keep going and, you know, their volume's extremely high, their output's super high. but they're not recovered. They're not taking the 2-3 rest days a week because, you know, they're scared that they need to do more to gain more. But that's not the case. You know, you gain muscle when you're resting, when you're sleeping, when you're eating, and you're getting nutrients to your body so the fibers can regrow. Otherwise, you're going to keep tearing the same fibers over and over. And will you grow? Yeah, you probably will, but not at the rate that you could be growing by taking your rest days, backing off when you need to, sleeping, eating, and getting proper recovery. That's something that cannot be overlooked. 19, 20, here we go, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, come on, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, fucking shit. God damn. Whew. Sweat my eyes. Ooh.
You gotta remember with like DC style of training, until you try it, 3 exercises sounds like nothing to you. You're like, you're like, what? I'm gonna fly through this, and I'm not even gonna get a good workout. But that's not true. If you hit the rest pause sets or your intensifier sets, whatever you're doing, is it rest pause, SST, cluster sets, there's tons of stuff that you could utilize. Unless you try it, you won't know what this feels like. You can't really go past 2 to 3 exercises on a rest pause because you just won't be able to push that way anymore. You'll be tanked out, and once again, like Isaac mentioned, you're just going to keep digging yourself a hole that you're just not going to get out of before the next training session. So that's the key, is do enough to activate, you know, really push as hard as you can in those 3 movements, and then save yourself to live to fight another day on the, you know, on your next training session. So until you try it, don't hate on it. It's tough, I guarantee you.
So right now we're gonna do some seated cable flies. Basically, we like to do this after we do our like main set, which was the decline press. This one's gonna be, for us, it's just an accessory movement at this point. We're gonna take this 2-3 sets. We'll probably hit 1 heavy top set, and then we'll do a back off set of that, which is just 20-30% less, but we take both those sets till failure. We like doing stuff like this to kind of just open everything back up. Everything's tight right now, bound up from doing this pressing movement, and now we're just gonna get everything opened up for us. And this will take us into our 3rd movement, which will be some extreme stretching, so which we'll explain in a little bit.
The angle is actually crazy.
Hydration, man. I don't know if you guys know, but make sure, especially if you take a C block, start sipping on it, get it loaded up into the system before you start training. Don't just only drink it during your intro. You want to actually start feeding the body right away, you know, kind of like priming the body before you start training. You know, I think a lot of people forget about that. Hydrate yourself before you get going.
Yeah.
C block can find the best way to do it.
In an ideal situation, You want to try and kind of be almost done with your intra-workout drink about halfway through your workout. Because if you're, let's say you're training for about an hour, you know, if you start sipping on that drink when you start training, by the time you get done with training, if you're moving at a quick pace, a lot of the time your body won't have the time to process it and distribute to where it needs to go. That stuff takes a little bit. So, you know, like Isaac mentioned, start sipping on that before, even if it's 15, 20 minutes before the session. If you're driving to the gym, start getting it into your system. Start getting the body primed, you know, give your body signals, hey, we're about to train. The more you do it consistently, your body's gonna start picking up on those cues. Oh, when this goes into my system, it's time to go. So, you know, consistency is key. You know, get in that habit of doing that, and you'll have some amazing training sessions.
Yep. All right, a little tip that I like to tell people, especially when you're doing these movements like this, get that back arched up, chest popped out, shoulder blades retracted towards each other. Have all that pressure on the chest, that tension already there. That way, this is just tension there, and you just keep that tension the whole way. Try to keep that chest up, and like I said, them shoulder blades squeeze together throughout the whole range of motion. That's just gonna put way more emphasis and tension on your chest. So just a little tip, a lot of people just kind of like, they'll roll their shoulders forward, you know, and their back will come off. I like to, like I said, I like to have it ready in the position and just keep it like that the whole time. That works best for me.
Completely recovered.
Completely recovered.
Well, as best recovered as you can.
I mean, you're right, as best as you can, but like, don't rush it. Don't treat it like it's just a warm-up set. Like, get into it, get your mind right for that top set, because you're gonna put all your energy and focus into the actual top set.
Right.
You know, so this is your heaviest weight, this is where you're gonna go your hardest, so why not go into that set as recovered as possible? You know, you're gonna give it your most energy. Why would you go in there at 50% when you could be 80, 90%? You know, it just makes more sense.
At the end of the day, the key point is to lift the heaviest weight as many amount of times as you possibly can in your top set. So if you're going into it not recovered, right off the bat, you're taking 2-3 reps off of what you could have done if you just given yourself, you know, a few more minutes, taking a sip of your water, took control of your breathing, and, you know, get focused for that set. So make sure you're fully recovered. Don't be scared to take extra few minutes. You don't need to have timed breaks when you're training this way. You know, like I said, you want to lift the most weight the most amount of times. That's the key of your top set.
With the best form possible.
With the best, without breaking down your form and not getting hurt, obviously.
And then this goes for rest pause sets, cluster sets, drop sets, top sets, you know, everything. Like when you get into that final set, that heaviest one, you want to make sure you're recovered as best as possible. Like don't treat it as just another like, you know, feeder set or another warm-up set, whatever you want to call it. You know, treat it like, okay, I'm going to war and I'm going to go to war with everything I got.
Yeah.
You know, not just half of what I got, everything I got. Just makes sense. That's all.
And then, you know, you got to put it in your head that this is it. You don't get another chance to do another top set. So you got to leave everything on the table that you got right now, not next set, not this set after that, it's this set. So make sure you go in with the right mindset. After you complete that set, we are going to take a rest and we're going to do a back off set. So we're going to take about 30% off your weight, okay? And we're going to do the same thing. You're going to try and do as many reps as possible, you know, with the drop in weight. So same idea as the top set, except we back off now and we just squeeze as hard as we can, keep the form nice and tight. And on a back off set, I like to keep my reps just a little bit slower, really focus on making sure that your form is impeccable and you're squeezing as much tissue as you possibly can. Got it.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I think we're gonna be straight.
All right, take it for a ride. Let's go. Yep. Good. There you go. Good. Let's go. Squeeze. Good. Open up. Yep. Nice control. Beautiful. Good. Yep. Come on. There we go. Now we're working. Let's go. Good shit. Good shit. Yep. Yep. Good. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. There you go. Yep. Try to stay back. Try to stay back. Don't come forward. Good. Yep. Fair.
Mentally tough. Keep it all out on the fucking table. All out on the table. Let's go.
No, stay right there.
Let's go. Come on. All out on the table. Let's work. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Let's go. Good. Earn every one. Earn every one. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. So you guys just saw our top set. So now we dropped our weight. We're going to repeat the process. Same thing. Make sure you're rested. Okay. Form stays nice and tight. Don't let it break down. Do as many reps as you possibly can. Leave nothing on the table.
Go. Good. Bring it. Another one. Looking good. Looking good. Drive. Drive. Another one. Another one. Come on. Take it. Take it. Another one. Let's go. I got you. I got you. Here we go. All right. Okay. Yep. Two more. Let's go. Good.
Bullshit.
Last one. Let's go. Drive. 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 Drive.
Let's go. You're moving it now. You're moving it. Good. They don't want it like you do. Come on. They don't want it like you do. They don't want it like you do. Let's go. Here we go. I'm with you. Good.
Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Let's go. 2. One more. Tight, 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 tight. Come on, fight that shit. Go, 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 go.
Next, we're gonna go over our extreme stretching. What we like to do is we like to do a few like flies, dumbbell flies. We set the bench up at a slight incline, nothing too crazy. And we'll go through flies, hold. We'll do like a 2-second hold. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. And then we do about 10 total reps. And then we go into an actual hold. And we just sit there and just kind of like let the elbows rest, not too much where it's out here where you're putting too much emphasis on the delts. You want to be right here so you're not like putting all that pressure on the delts. You're just stretching all the fascia and tissue that you just tore up while you're training. So you're just going to pull it apart. What this is going to do, essentially, is going to help with recovery. You're going to take all that tissue that's bound up, pull it back apart, allow for blood flow to come back in the area, which is going to help you recover faster. So let's get to it. 2. Perfect.
1, 2, up. Good. 1, 2, up. Good. 39, 40. Here we go. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good.
Fuck.
There you go.
Air dry.
It's a blow dryer out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All right, the other thing too for this movement, you'll see as it comes down, to not explode out of the hole. Your shoulder's already in a compromised position, so you want to come out nice and slow. You explode, you're gonna leave yourself with better chance of actually getting injured. There you go. Good. 2 up. One, 2 up. Good. 1, 2 up. Good. Good. Hold.
Yeah, make sure you explain the hand position too on there, so they're not trying to fly out here, you know?
Yeah, I explained it at the beginning, but yeah, you see how his hand position's changed now from being on the fly to more like in a position where it's just gonna let the chest just rest here instead of actually putting all that stress on your front delt. He's in a nice, comfortable position. This allows him to be locked into this position, opening up his chest, but not putting too much emphasis on his actual front delts and rotator cuff and all that stuff. Which at this point, you're pretty compromised because you just did a lot of chest work and you're gonna activate a lot of the front delt just naturally. That's just what happens. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little extra credit. Go ahead. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, good. How you feel?
My shit is roasted. My hands we're falling asleep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Marsell was saying.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's nothing fancy. It's just hard work. Get in here, keep that intensity high, work hard, leave everything on every top set that you possibly can, and that's it. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to do a million exercises. Just make sure your head is in the game, you stay intense, and you work.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off him, intensity over everything is what we kind of preach here. Efficiency, you know, make sure that the workout is not going to be like 2-3 hours long. We get the most out of it we can. We both have families, we got clients, we got time to do other things, and our workout is obviously important to us, but the main thing is we're just banging this out, getting our shit done, being as effective as possible. And like I said, intensity above everything. Can't preach that enough.
And at the end of the day, the unwritten rule of the Trap House Gym, if you ain't feeling it, stay the fuck home. Don't show up. Don't show up.
That's it, man. We're at today.